Have you ever felt like your life is stuck? Like you're standing at the starting line, but everyone else has already begun the race. You watch people succeed, build businesses, get healthier, become confident, and you ask yourself one quiet question: why not me? But the real question is not why not you. The real question is this: are you trying to change your whole life at once, instead of taking one small step? Because the truth is simple. Every transformation you admire, every success story you hear, every powerful comeback you celebrate, started with something incredibly small. Not a giant leap, not a perfect plan, just one small step. And today, that's exactly what we're going to talk about. The lie we all believe. Most people believe success requires something dramatic. A huge decision, a perfect moment, a massive burst of motivation. But that's a lie. Motivation fades, energy drops, life gets busy, and when the plan feels too big, we quit before we even begin. You tell yourself, I'll start Monday, I'll start next month, I'll start when things calm down. But deep down you know something. That moment rarely comes. Life doesn't suddenly become easier. Schedules don't magically clear. And waiting for the perfect time quietly becomes years of delay. The weight of big goals. Imagine standing at the bottom of a mountain. The top is hidden in clouds. The climb looks endless. Your brain immediately whispers, "This is impossible!" So you walk away. But what if someone told you something different? What if they said, "You don't have to climb the whole mountain today. You just need to take one step." One step doesn't feel scary. One step doesn't feel overwhelming. One step feels doable. And that's the secret. Progress doesn't require a leap. It requires movement. Why small steps work. Your brain loves comfort. It protects you from danger. It avoids uncertainty. It resists change. When you try to change everything at once, your brain sees it as a threat. Diet completely. Wake up at 5 a.m. Exercise every day. Build a business. Read 50 books. Your mind screams, "Too much!" So it shuts down. But a small step? That feels safe. Drink one glass of water. Read one page. Walk for 5 minutes. Write one idea. Small steps slip past resistance. And once you start, momentum begins. The domino effect. There's a fascinating concept called the domino effect. If you line up dominoes, something amazing happens. When one falls, it knocks over the next, and the next, and the next. The first domino might be tiny, but eventually, it can knock down something massive. Your life works the same way. One small step leads to another. A 5-minute workout becomes 10. 10 becomes 30. A single journal entry becomes a habit. A habit becomes a lifestyle. What looked insignificant at first becomes unstoppable momentum. A story you'll recognize. Let's imagine someone named David. David works a normal job. He feels tired every evening. He's gained weight. He feels stuck. Every January he makes the same resolution: get in shape. But every year it fails. Why? Because his plan is always extreme. Gym every day. Strict diet. Zero sugar. Within 2 weeks, he quits. Not because he's lazy, but because the change is too big. So one day David tries something different. He makes a simple rule. Just 5 push-ups a day. That's it. 5. It feels almost silly, but he does it. Day 1. Day 2. Day 3. Soon something interesting happens. 5 push-ups become 10. Then 20. Then he starts walking. Months later, David isn't just doing push-ups. He's running. He's lifting weights. He's healthier than he's been in years. And it all started with something that took less than 30 seconds. One small step. Why we underestimate small progress. We live in a world that celebrates big moments. The promotion, the viral success, the championship win. But we rarely see the small steps behind them. We don't see the early mornings, the quiet practice, the tiny improvements made daily. Success looks sudden from the outside, but from the inside, it's a slow accumulation of small actions. Every single day. The compound effect. Think about money for a moment. If you invest a small amount consistently, it grows over time. This is called compound growth. Small deposits turn into large wealth. Your habits work exactly the same way. A tiny action repeated daily becomes powerful. Read 10 pages a day. That's over 3,600 pages a year. That's more than 10 books. Write 300 words a day. In a year, you've written over 100,000 words. That's an entire book. Small steps look small today, but over time, they become life-changing. The danger of standing still. There's something worse than failure. Standing still. When you don't move, life quietly drifts. Days become weeks. Weeks become years. Dreams slowly fade. Not because they were impossible, but because they were never started. The tragedy of most people's lives is not that they tried and failed. It's that they never began. The courage to start small. Starting small requires humility. It means accepting that progress will be slow. It means letting go of the fantasy of overnight success. But it also means something powerful. You become consistent. Consistency beats intensity every time. An intense burst of effort fades, but steady progress compounds. The power of momentum. Momentum is magical. Once you start moving, things feel easier. Action creates motivation. Not the other way around. Most people wait to feel motivated. But motivation usually shows up after you begin. You start writing, and suddenly ideas flow. You start exercising, and energy increases. You start learning, and curiosity grows. Action unlocks momentum. Momentum fuels progress. The psychological win. Every small step gives your brain a signal. I'm someone who follows through. That identity matters. You stop seeing yourself as someone who quits, and start seeing yourself as someone who keeps promises to yourself. That shift alone can transform your life. Imagine your future self. Picture yourself 1 year from today. 2 possibilities exist. In the first scenario, nothing changes. Same routines, same habits, same frustrations. But in the second scenario, you take one small step every day. You read a little, exercise a little, learn a little. After a year, you're stronger, smarter, more confident. The difference between those two lives? Tiny actions repeated daily. Why today matters? People love the idea of someday. Someday I'll start. Someday I'll change. Someday I'll chase my dream. But someday is dangerous, because someday often becomes never. The truth is simple. The best time to start was years ago. The second best time? Today. Not tomorrow. Not next week. Today. The first step is the hardest. The first step feels uncomfortable. It feels uncertain. But it's also the most powerful step you'll ever take. Because once movement begins, change becomes possible. Every journey starts with a beginning. Every success story starts with a decision. One step right now. So let me ask you something. What is one small step you can take today? Not tomorrow. Not next month. Today. Maybe it's writing one paragraph. Maybe it's going for a short walk. Maybe it's learning something new. Maybe it's making one phone call. It doesn't need to be impressive. It just needs to be real. The secret most people miss. Success isn't built on giant moments. It's built on small decisions, made consistently, quietly, without applause. Those small steps create habits. Habits create character. Character shapes destiny. A simple rule. If you remember nothing else from this message, remember this rule. Never underestimate the power of one small step. One step today. One step tomorrow. One step the next day. Soon you'll look back and realize something incredible. You didn't just move forward. You transformed your life. Final message. Right now, somewhere in the world, someone is taking their first step. Someone is writing the first page of their book. Someone is starting their fitness journey. Someone is learning a new skill. And a year from now, their life will look completely different. Not because they made a giant leap, but because they started small and never stopped moving. So take a deep breath. Let go of the pressure to be perfect. Forget the giant leap. Just focus on one step. One small step today. Because that step might be the beginning of everything.